Last week, the WWE Universe witnessed a shocking and unforgettable moment that sent waves of disbelief through fans across the world as Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, two men who had until then appeared to be allies or at least competitors operating with some semblance of honor, suddenly and violently turned their backs on Seth Rollins. It was a betrayal as brutal as it was unexpected, a moment that instantly became the center of conversation in locker rooms, fan forums, and social media platforms alike. Seth Rollins, a man who has built a legacy upon resilience, innovation, and a relentless drive for greatness, was blindsided by two rising powerhouses hungry for domination. Breakker and Reed did not just attack Rollins physically. They tried to make a statement by targeting one of the most decorated and polarizing figures in WWE history. The many who tuned in to watch what they believed would be another intense episode of Monday Night Raw instead found themselves stunned as Rollins, already exhausted from weeks of grueling competition, was ruthlessly taken out and left lying in the ring, beaten and broken. It was a message to Seth Rollins and to anyone else who might stand in the way of Breakker and Reed's violent ambitions. Yet, what those two massive men did not seem to understand is that Seth Rollins is not someone who simply fades into the shadows when struck down. He is not someone who retreats. Instead, he is a man who rises stronger, more determined, more dangerous than before, and that is exactly what the world is now witnessing. Tonight, on Monday Night Raw, the visionary, the architect, the revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins has returned, and he has made it clear through his presence alone that he is not here to engage in conversation, not here to cut jokes, not here to analyze strategy or reflect on betrayal. He is here for one purpose only: payback. After spending a week on the shelf recovering from the savage attack he suffered, Rollins has dragged himself back to the arena, but this is not the same charismatic, witty leader of the WWE Universe who dazzles audiences with speeches and mind games. This is a darker Seth Rollins, a focused Seth Rollins, a Seth Rollins with rage simmering beneath every word and every step. Sources backstage, who spoke under the condition of anonymity, claim that Seth Rollins didn't bother waiting for official medical clearance from WWE doctors. They claim he outright refused to stay home, insisting that even if every physician on the planet told him to stay out of action, nothing and no one would keep him from showing up tonight. He reportedly stormed into the arena long before the show went on air, already dressed for a fight, pacing like a predator who had caught the scent of blood. The laughter and arrogance that Breakker and Reed displayed last week had dissolved into tension and unease behind the scenes. Nobody is laughing now that Rollins has returned with vengeance burning in his eyes. This version of Seth Rollins is not here to entertain. He is here to destroy. The moment Seth Rollins stepped through the curtain tonight, the atmosphere in the arena changed. The music hit, the crowd erupted into a deafening roar, and yet there was an undercurrent of intensity that even the fans could feel. They could see it in his expression: cold, unwavering focus. He didn't waste time addressing the crowd or sharing his thoughts on betrayal. He grabbed a mic only long enough to deliver a chilling warning that echoed through the rafters. He is not finished, and he will not rest until both Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed pay for what they did. His voice was sharp, controlled, and dangerous. Before anyone could even process his words, chaos erupted. Breakker and Reed appeared, perhaps assuming that Rollins was just putting on a show, but they quickly learned that this was not about theatrics. Rollins threw the microphone aside and launched himself at them like a missile. What followed was not a wrestling match. It was a fight born of fury and betrayal. Security had to rush the ring as Rollins went after Breakker first, fists flying with reckless precision, driving Breakker into the turnbuckle. Bronson Reed stormed forward to intervene, but Rollins spun with lightning speed and nailed Reed with a shot that rocked the massive powerhouse. The ring swarmed with officials, referees, and security guards trying desperately to pull Rollins away, but he refused to relent. He clawed and fought through anyone in his path, trying to get back at the two men who assaulted him last week. The entire arena was on its feet, shouting, screaming, cheering, stunned by the ferocity of the onslaught. Even as he was dragged away, Rollins kept shouting that this was far from over, that he would not stop until he had revenge. The message was loud, clear, and terrifying. Seth Rollins is far from finished, and he is more dangerous now than he has been at any point in his career. Revenge is coming, and it is personal. This isn't about competition anymore. It is about justice. It is about redemption. It is about payback. Seth Rollins has always been a man capable of walking into chaos and thriving within it, but now he has been pushed to a place even he rarely goes, a place of cold, calculated vengeance. Breakker and Reed thought they were making a name for themselves by targeting one of the biggest stars in WWE history, but what they have really done is awaken the darkest side of Seth Rollins. A man like him doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. When he is betrayed, he doesn't just respond. He ensures that his enemies regret ever crossing him. Bron Breakker, a young and powerful rising star, may be fearless, but he has never faced someone like this version of Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed, a wrecking ball of brute force, may believe his size and strength will save him, but he has never been hunted by a man this relentless. Rollins will not stop. He will strike when they least expect it. He will dismantle their confidence, break their bodies, and punish their betrayal piece by piece, moment by moment, week by week, until they understand exactly who they crossed. They thought they could make a statement at Seth Rollins' expense. Instead, they have triggered a war they are not prepared for. As Monday Night Raw went off the air, it was clear that this story is only beginning. Seth Rollins is officially back on the hunt, and Raw may never be the same again. The landscape of WWE shifts whenever Rollins moves with purpose, and this time he is moving with an intensity that shakes the very foundation of the show. Every wrestler backstage is on edge, knowing that when personal vendettas erupt, collateral damage is inevitable. Alliances will form, others will shatter, and the fallout from this escalating conflict will be felt by everyone involved. General managers, referees, security personnel, and even other superstars will be forced to choose sides or get caught in the crossfire. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed may think they control the narrative now, but they are about to learn that Seth Rollins writes his own story, and he writes it in pain, passion, and revenge. Nobody knows when he will strike next. Nobody knows how far he is willing to go. But everyone, fans and wrestlers alike, knows one thing for sure. Seth Rollins is not done. Not by a long shot. That is why next week's episode of Raw is being called one of the most anticipated episodes in months. The fallout from tonight's chaos will be explosive. Questions are piling up faster than anyone can answer them. Will Rollins be suspended for attacking WWE personnel in high